what are some qualities that you think that potential students interested in computational biology should develop or have?
I would say it definitely helps to enjoy coding, because that's pretty much mostly what you're going to be doing. And a lot of it is data preparation. So for those who are thinking about data science, it is maybe 20% building the computational models, building the machine learning models, and it's 80% preparing your data. So get ready that you will have to figure out, when you're given some data sets from experimental people, what exactly it is, what parts of it is what you need, if you need to do any data prep with it, if you need to do any data cleaning. So there's going to be a lot of that. So enjoy coding, enjoy working with data. That's in general. In terms of some specific skills in math, for example, I would say it's mostly just linear algebra. If you want to understand the way those algorithms work, is just matrices and vectors and different operations you can do with them. So it's refresh your linear algebra if you feel comfortable with it. And if you did some, let's say, machine learning online courses and you felt okay, then you should be pretty much good.
Are there any qualities that don't lend success in the field?
I wouldn't say so. I would say if you're interested and you want to try, then I'm sure that's something anybody can learn. As long as you enjoy coding and you want to do comp bio, you should be fine. I have a friend who actually did experimental biology mostly, and he recently contacted me asking that he wants to transition to computational biology and how he can do that. So even if you're an experimentalist right now and you're working, let's say, with cell culture or anything related to wet lab, and you suddenly decide that you want to do computational biology, if you really want to, nothing is stopping you, and it's not as hard as it sounds.
Okay, so someone like me who's really interested in biology, but who's not a really good coder, and I'm not the best at math, I could do it if I really wanted to?
Absolutely, I think so. So the math also is not that complicated. I mean, it's linear algebra, but there are really good online courses you can take that explain everything in the way you'll understand. Out there on the web. If you are just starting to learn computational biology and you're not very experienced with coding, there are a lot of online resources you can use, like the Code Academy. If you want to learn, for example, Python, I don't remember the exact resources, but there are places you can learn R. So Python and R are like big languages that mostly used in comp bio. And if you start there and you pick up a little bit, there are YouTube lectures you can watch. There are some tutorials you can try. And if you go on, for example, Kaggle, there is this website called Kaggle, which is for data science competitions. You can go there, and there are a lot of data sets you can download just to play with and just practice your skills and build some models. So if you do that, you should be good, and you should be able to transition even from wet lab background if you're actually interested in it.
That's wonderful. There's good news. That's good news, everybody. Hear that? You could be a computational biology. Wow, that's large words. Okay, advice. So we were wondering if you had any advice you wanted to give high school students wanting to get into the field.
Okay, I was kind of going to be repeating what I just said. So basically, if you're just starting and you have very little coding experience, I would start with learning the languages. Choose one. If you're just starting in coding, and sorry, you're just starting coding and it's the first language you're learning, you can try going with R. It's a little simpler than Python, but Python is the one you're probably going to be using the most if you are doing more serious computational biology. R is really good for especially making plots, and you can do some machine learning, but it's fairly limiting. And if you want to be, if you want to have kind of versatile skill box, then I would say you should go with Python. Once you learned those languages and you practice a little bit and you feel more comfortable, then take some courses on linear algebra and machine learning. There are plenty of those online. There's an insane amount of those. And a lot of them are free online courses with some tutorials, with some interactive frameworks where you can actually practice as you learn. So it's pretty smooth and you should be good. And after that, find yourself some data sets to practice. For example, go on Kaggle or just look it up. There are a lot of data sets online. And after that, you just need to join the right department, I guess, and look for some projects you can do. When you're in undergrad, just look for kind of side projects you can do with some labs doing some coding for them. It's going to give you experience. Maybe you can get on a paper, which will help you if you want to get in grad school. So basically just get more experience once you feel more comfortable with languages.
Well, that pretty much answers our other questions, but I'll ask them anyway, just for funsies. Do you have any tips or suggestions to achieve success? So you already said a bunch of tips. So, I don't know.
It all comes down to practice. So the more you practice, the more comfortable you feel. One of the things you can do is you can think about what kind of computational biology you want to do. Do you want to be building tools? Do you want to work with some disease? Maybe, for example, there is a specific cancer you're interested in and you want to work in that field. So in that case, if you have something more specific in mind, you can just look up literature, some review papers on that, and you will have an idea of what people in the field are doing right now. Like review papers especially are very useful. Let's say you want to do some computational biology and you are interested in RNA processing. You can just look up reviews on computational biology in that field, and that will give you a general idea of what people are working on and what are the labs you can look into. And from there, you can keep digging into whatever is more interesting to you.
Wonderful. So anything you'd like to tell people that are interested in the field? Just, general thoughts.
It's fun. You get a lot of experience in data science, which helps. You probably are going to graduate faster than most of your experimental peers because, well, your projects go much faster. And for example, like COVID started and my productivity went up because I was just at home and I was mostly working, and I was working from home because as a coder, that's no problem at all. And there are no distractions. You're not taking lunch and spending 2 hours chatting with people. So you actually become more productive working from distance. And that's one of the advantages being in coding in general. And if you join a computational lab, that's probably going to be the thing. You can probably work from home for half of the time if you want to. Well, it's up to you. Of course, it's nice being in a lab and being in an environment, and there are things you can ask people. They share ideas, they give you advice. So I probably wouldn't recommend staying at home all the time, but whenever you feel like it, you can do it. If it's raining outside and you really don't want to go to the lab, you don't necessarily have to, and that's pretty nice.